Hey everybody, this is Nick Baldwin, and today I'm being joined by UFC welterweight Bryan Bam Bam Barberena, who fights this Saturday night at UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. He was supposed to take on Matt the Immortal Brown, who had to withdraw after testing positive for COVID. In his place is newcomer Darian Weeks. It didn't seem like maybe Bryan was going to stay on the card, but he got an opponent just yesterday, and he's on the card on Saturday night. Bryan, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Nick.
Absolutely. It's good to talk to you again. For those that wouldn't have seen, we actually spoke last week, and that interview did not publish on the interwebs because the same day Matt Brown pulls out. Before we talk about that fight getting canceled in a second, how would you describe the past 7 or 8 days, basically since you found out your original opponent was out due to COVID?
Uh, you know, uh, right away, it was kind of surprising and upsetting. You had to. I was actually playing video games on my Twitch channel, and a person in my, who was in the lobby or in my Twitch was like, "Hey, man, I'm so sorry. I seen Matt Brown tested positive for COVID." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I got a text message right after that from my good buddy Scott Holtzman, and he's like, "Man, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Dude, why are you sorry?" And I was like, "Man, I need to look online, see what's going on." So, I looked on Instagram and, went to Matt's page and, seen it. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks. And I was like, all right, well, I'll get some things figured out, contact the UFC. Um, so I contacted them and they said, they're working on it. They just found out themselves and that they would find me somebody. So originally, it was just like upsetting because it was a matchup I really wanted. But 30 minutes later, it's, whatever, whoever they're going to give me somebody. I'm still going to fight. Let's reset the mindset. That's already passed. It's over. Let's move on, refocus, get ready to go into it, whoever it's going to be.
Now, maybe this wasn't really the UFC's call in terms of how you found out, just because maybe it sounds like Matt sort of announced it on his own, like right away.
Yeah.
But is it annoying that you found out through Twitch, through a fellow fighter, like just online and not a phone call from the UFC, something like that? Like, did you kind of find that a little annoying, or?
Maybe a little bit at first, but then, yeah, it's like you said, with the days of social media or whatever, he probably posted it before even telling them or notifying anybody or notified one person maybe, and then he just didn't, climb up the ladder to get to the right person to make the call to me right away. So it's whatever. It's just, it was just kind of shocking in the moment. But,
Yeah.
they were very clear that they were going to find me somebody. And honestly, I told them, I said, I don't care who it is. I don't care who, just, find me somebody. I want to stay on the card. I want to fight. I'm ready to fight. So just, I'm ready for whatever. Give me somebody.
So did you actually fly to Vegas without knowing who or even if you would be fighting on Saturday?
So I flew to Vegas knowing I'd be fighting because, they told me, I talked to, Sean, and he said, we will find you somebody, and this was like 2 days before leaving for fight week. He said, we'll find somebody. And I was like, okay. Well, he said, we'll find somebody. I'm going to fight somebody. Somebody's going to get beat up. Someone's going to step in there with me and get in there. It didn't matter who. And yeah, like I told him, anybody. It doesn't matter who. I don't care. I'm prepared. I'm ready to fight. So I don't care who you bring. And yeah, I flew to fight week, had no opponent. And later that day after I got here, I ended up, getting Darian Weeks. And fine, awesome. Yeah, I'm super happy that I finally got somebody. It's it's great, but like I said, I was willing to fight anybody, and I'm ready to go.
And so you got into Vegas yesterday, correct? On Tuesday?
Yes. Yep.
Is it weird showing up to fight week? And what I meant by like not knowing if you're going to fight is because you didn't have an opponent. So I mean, until it's like locked in, until the dotted line is signed, like you never know. Crazy things happen, right? Is it weird showing up to Vegas not having an opponent?
It was a little bit. Yeah, it was kind of just out of the ordinary, really. Packing my bags the night before, and I had a really early flight, so it was just like, kind of a little awkward and yeah, a little weird because I didn't have an opponent. But it was like, let's just stay focused. I'm gonna do everything I can do to stay ready, stay focused, and whatever happens, happens. And I just got to control what I can control, and that's staying ready and making it to Vegas, getting my weight under control still, making weight, all that. So when the opponent comes, if an opponent comes, I'll be ready. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be ready either way. I'm stepping on that scale.
Yeah. And I mean, how would you say the past week has gone, like just overall, like all the different sort of ups and downs, the emotions, like finding out Brown's out, not knowing if you're going to fight, then knowing you are going to fight, flying to Vegas, getting the opponent, like, has it been crazy? Have you been doing what you can to make it just as relaxed as possible? How has it been?
Yeah, it hasn't been too crazy, honestly. I don't know if it's. I just kind of settled into, I only can control what I can control, and that, that's all I can do. I can't control anybody else or what they're doing or, finding somebody, anything like that. I can only control myself, and so I'm gonna do everything possible, like I'm fighting Saturday, and when Saturday comes, if it doesn't come out where I'm fighting, then we'll deal with it then. But for now, I can only deal with what's leading up to it and everything, and so it was just that mindset. Is we're still fighting. We don't know who, but we still got to get these workouts in. We still got to diet. We still got to do our water loading process and everything, travel and all that. So it was just, we're ready to go. So it was just continually to do the same thing, stay on schedule, stay focused. So there was really no craziness or, panic, because, I just knew I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, and the rest will work its way out.
So Darian Weeks, do you know anything about him?
Not really. No.
Watched
couple clips briefly when they sent me the contract, and I really just let my coaches check him out and stuff. He looks like he likes to strike. I heard in like an interview during like the fight, the announcer say something about he has a wrestling background. So I really don't know. I know he's 5-0. He was going to be on the Contender Series and got COVID, and so he was on hold or whatever, I guess. But that's pretty much all I know about him. And it really doesn't matter. He's going to bring whatever he brings, but I'm prepared and ready for it all. Like I'm ready to fight, and I'm ready to take the fight to him.
It's been less than 24 hours since you found out you were fighting him, and it's about 3.5 days, whatever, away from the fight. At this point, like, do you even try to learn about him, prepare for him, or do you just focus on you and hope that gets you the win, so to speak?
Yeah, we'll make my team will watch him, and we'll find out, figure some things out of what he likes to do or tendencies maybe. But for me, and really leading up to the fight is, just staying sharp. Staying ready, and continuing to drill what we've been drilling. Continuing to just work the things we've been working. Even in camp, we do. When I was gonna fight Brown, it's like we switch some things up. We see some things he likes to do, but really a lot of it is just improving my game, improving areas, in my striking, my grappling, my wrestling, and mixing it all up and just working and improving to get better. So we don't spend a whole lot of time of like, he's going to do this. This is what we're doing. He's going to do this. This is what we're doing. It's more of just like, okay, yeah, he likes to throw this or whatever. I get some looks for some guys. And then we kind of play off that and see what I like to set up off of it, see what my coaches like to set off of it, and then just kind of build and flow into it. So it's kind of going to be the same thing. Just keep, working at it and sharpening the skills while I'm here, leading into the final days. There's not, I'm not going to be training really hard. So it's a lot of rest and recovery for me. So I'm just ready to fight, man. He can bring whatever. I'm ready for it all.
What would you say the biggest challenge is with this last minute replacement situation you find yourself in? Is it that you don't know a ton about him, so that's a bit of a challenge? Is it just the fact the unknowns leading into fight week? You don't know who, if, all that. Like, what would you say the biggest challenge has been this fight week?
I think this fight week's challenge is honestly kind of the same as every really fight week is, now with COVID and everything, there still is no guarantees that this is the fight that's going to happen. is still no guarantees that, everybody's passing their tests and making it. So, again, you can only control what I can control in the moment right now. So that we just move forward, and it won't be real till I step in the octagon on Saturday, and then it's time to go. So everything else besides that is, in preparation to hopefully get to that point, and hopefully it stays the same person and whatever. But again, if it doesn't, I'm ready to fight whoever, and hopefully we get to step in on Saturday, and it's him, and we're ready to go.
Does this put more pressure on you just because he's coming in on 4 days' notice? He's the one with only 5 pro fights, no UFC experience. You're the guy who's fought a lot of top guys in the UFC, been around for a long time. Like, does this situation just put a bit more pressure on you, do you feel?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, people look at it like that. Definitely
But
people are
you
looking
don't,
at it like,
maybe.
yeah, like I definitely don't. Like, people are looking at it like, this guy has only 5 fights. He's coming in, Bryan needs this or whatever. Of course, but I need every win. I need every fight. I need, every single person I go against, I need that win. It doesn't matter. So for me, it's not a big deal, man. I'm ready to fight whoever, and I'm ready to beat whoever. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about what media says. I'm not worried about what people are thinking. I'm not even worried about what if the UFC has it as a make or break. I don't give a shit. I'm just ready to fight, and I'm going to go in there and do exactly that and come out with my hand raised. And that's the only outcome.
Well, following up on that a little bit, and I feel like I kind of know what you're going to say. And this is a question I asked you last week, so it's probably a bit familiar. But coming off that loss a few months ago, like, do you feel this is a bit of a must win? Like, do you feel like your back is against the wall in some ways going into this fight?
I don't, I mean, obviously, I don't know, I don't know, honestly, because, they can do whatever. The UFC drops people, sometimes for whatever reasons, and, off losses, off whatever. So you never know. But for me, I don't, I'm not thinking about it. I think I go out there, I put on exciting fights every single time, and I think they like that. And I think I'm a fan favorite kind of guy. Like, people love to see, a bam bam fight. So, I'm not going to be surprised. Like, I was opening up the main card. I'm not surprised if they keep me there. I'm not surprised if they move me. But, I think that people like to watch a bam bam fight, and I'm going to open it up with a bang either way. So wherever they put me on the card, I'm ready. But I wouldn't be surprised if they keep me in the main spot right there, opening up the main card, because they know I bring it every time. With that said, I don't have any worries, man. I'm just ready to go fight, and ready to put it on this guy.
Yeah. Something I also mentioned last week, kind of related to this, is that your exciting style. Like, do you feel like that gives you a bit more leeway when it comes to wins and losses? A guy I mentioned as well, Frank Camacho. I think he lost like 3 or 4 in a row, which for most fighters would just be an instant pink slip from the UFC, if we're being honest. But for him, he was so exciting. Win or lose, they kept him around. They gave him another shot. So do you feel like, just in general, someone like you gets a bit more leeway because you are so entertaining?
I mean, possibly. I think, definitely it helps. If someone goes out there and put on exciting fights rather than just going in there and holding somebody for, the whole 15 minutes. I think you can tell that I'm trying to finish the whole time, and I'm, getting after people. So I think it definitely helps a lot. And, again, you just never know with what they're thinking or with the moves they want to make. So, just go in there and keep fighting how I'm fighting. I don't do it looking forward, looking to like, oh yeah, this is going to help me if I fight like this. This is going to help me stay here. Like, I just fight how I fight, and I enjoy it. So I'm just going in there and have some fun, and the rest will take care of itself.
Is the Matt Brown fight one you hope to rebook? Last week you called it a dream matchup for you. So I imagine, like, whether it's next fight or fight after or whenever, it's a guy that you'd like to fight at some point. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I would love to get the Matt Brown fight rebooked. I hope he would want to too. Um, you know, After this one, whatever. Hopefully, I really hope he's healthy, recovering well. Speedy recovery, not having many symptoms or anything like that. I hope he's doing well. And yeah, man, I really hope it can come to fruition and we can, reschedule it and get back in there and really handle business, have some fun.
So Darian Weeks on Saturday. I know you don't know a ton about him, but gut feeling as to how this plays out, how you get your hand raised?
I just got to go out there and take it to him. Man, a lot of people, know me as a guy who goes in there and they, test their heart and take them to the limits. I got to, we're done testing people's heart and going to start taking them. So that's the only mindset I'm in right now is we're done going in there and just testing people. We're going to go in there and take them.
All right, Bryan, thanks again for the time. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you on Saturday night.
Thank you so much, Nick. I appreciate the time.